Today, we travel through the backcountry region of Red Rock Canyon State Park, home to many historical gold mining sites. Our route, known as the Bonanza Trail, takes us to an awesome mine, a post office and several cabins, and the famous Burro Schmidt tunnel. We then travel east to the Trona Pinnacles, where we find a camp that's out of this world.
Have kids
We'll explore!
Red Rock Canyon State Park in California, off of Highway 14, features some of the most spectacular red cliffs you'll ever see. We stage at the Dove Springs Crossing, where our backcountry adventure is about to begin.
I'm only carrying one stove.
Only one stove now? It's just not.
We would carry more than one.
It's just not Joe if he's carrying one stove. It's not just the scenic red cliffs that make Red Rock interesting. It's also all the history and the canyons behind. I've been excited for this trip for quite a while, but what makes it more special is that this is an untraveled region for our group. We'll spend the better part of the day exploring the backcountry region of Red Rock and the El Paso Mountains. Our first stop will be the Old Dutch Cleanser Mine. All right, let's go.
Deflated as a group?
Yep, our group is deflated. We arrived in good time to the Old Dutch Cleanser. Unfortunately, so did these guys. Operational from 1923 to 1947, the Old Dutch Cleanser mine was a source for pumicite, a scouring agent used in household cleaning products. This mine has 19 different shafts, each cut at a 45-degree angle and descending hundreds of feet below the surface. "12 men operated the Old Dutch Cleanser, hauling out 100 tons of pumicite per week, and 120,000 tons in total. This mine was truly impressive to see.
Bonanza Trail.
Back on the trail, it was a short haul till we reached Bonanza Gulch, where several gold miners' cabins can be found, including this building, the local post office.
This is a post office. It's pretty good.
Oh, hey.
It's a dang nice view. So yeah.
As we continue down Bonanza Gulch, there's several cabins that you can drop in and visit. The first cabin was in decent shape and a good shelter when outside conditions are unbearable. Oh, okay. Oh, which one do you want? Yeah. This Crown Royal looks suspicious. Can I pour you a cup, Carlos?
There's a picture. This is. There's another bed, table. Wait, just wake up and you're just looking at this horrible thing. Sheesh. There's a free chair. Yeah. What's Rick doing all the way over there?
Our group deemed this cabin the honeymoon cabin.
Welcome, please keep the rodents out. John and John. Yeah. Wow. See? And there's Christmas lights. There you go. Wow, this is fancy.
Oh, so there's some red here.
Yeah.
Some sketchy liquid.
Oh, that's the furnace.
Unfortunately, not all the cabins received the same TLC. The Bickel Camp is the local museum, a real treasure trove of early to mid 1900s artifacts. There's a ton of things to see here, and the local caretakers even gave us a small tour.
You look down there, 100 feet down there is water. Take a rock, and everybody be quiet. Take a rock here, we'll let you guys do it. Everybody got a rock? Okay. One at a time, drop it down, and everybody be quiet. Go ahead and drop the rock down. Oh, see, hear that? That's bigger, right?
In addition to mining, Walt Bickel was also the local handyman. He would often barter with his customers since they didn't have a lot of money. And that's why there's so many old relics on this property.
Yeah, somebody stole it, drove it down the canyon, and broke down, and they finally found it, and pulled it back up here, and it's sat there ever since. Everybody wants to buy that thing.
This is the inside of Walt Bickel's cabin, and this is exactly how I imagined a miner's cabin would look like. The trails out here are your basic desert terrain, sandy, fast, and flowy. Considering how much rain we received recently, the trails were in pretty good condition. We didn't see any other overlanders during this trip, but we did run into a couple of large groups of side-by-sides. After a short climb through the canyon, we finally reached the Burro Schmidt tunnel, our main attraction of the weekend. Oh wow. The rail tracks. Hold on, Andy.
What?
I think it's.
William Schmidt's tunnel was designed to easily haul his gold ore through the mountain instead of up and over the aggressive terrain. It took him 38 years to complete this project, primarily with hand tools. The tunnel is half a mile from end to end. Cool. Whoa. The tunnel was never used as intended. A local road was built in 1920, mitigating the need for this tunnel. The Red Rock and El Paso mountain range offers plenty of exploration and camping. I recommend a trip out here to soak in all the history. Just remember to respect the land and leave no trace.
Well, we know there's more than enough space in Trona, right? And so then there's a matter of just, is there a nicer spot before we go there, right?
Yeah. And my only fear is... After a short discussion on where to set up camp, we decided to travel 60 miles east to one of the most iconic desert spots in the Mojave, Randsburg. The Trona Pinnacles. After a tour of the Pinnacles, we found an awesome camp for the evening. We knew it would be a windy night, so we set up accordingly to protect us from the gusty winds. Our Super Pacific camper was an excellent shelter for these types of conditions. After pointing the hard-sided wall into the wind, the strong winds barely affected us. We had a fun-filled day of exploring, and I marked off several other points of interest, so we'll definitely be back in the future. Unfortunately, the wind was non-stop this evening, with gusts up to 35 miles per hour. We all took shelter and had our potluck inside the walls of Rick's 23-0 awning. After a delicious potluck, quite a few laughs, and Rick's epiphany about vegan beef, we all decided to call it a night. The wind finally stopped at about 2:30 a.m., and the morning was absolutely peaceful. This is drone roulette. Okay, the drone has to land on its pad, but usually it's off a little bit. So let's see who it hits. Let's see whose ear it chops off. Oh, Joe! Go, stand back there, Joe!
You coward!
Come on, Joe! You wanted in on all this. It's gonna bounce off me and hit Carl.
Don't move!
Oh!
Right in the middle of the pad now.
Oh! It seriously looked like the drone was going to land on my head.
Accurate.
Luckily, all of our ears stayed intact for this round of drone roulette. It's always heartwarming watching the kids play and explore together.
That's what I'm kind of more of a country kind of guy.
It's not official, but I think Ryan set a new record putting away these pesky privacy tents.
That's when a person reads the instructions. There you go.
I got scared.
Friends always ask what my favorite overlanding upgrade is. The answer always is my overland-bound family. We've grown from being acquaintances to a brother and sisterhood of adventurers.